Not tapped into your talents. Some people's makeup is designed so that they don't have to do nothing except sit on their ass and things will come to them. Everybody got different makeups. You got to figure out what that is. That's where divination comes into play. That's why a priest will do a reading for you and discover who your Orishas or your Netaru or whatever are. You see? So each and every one of us, that's why I keep saying that. Yes, we're all connected, but we're all individuals with a specific purpose. Why? Because you are all different manifestations of God. But you have to come into the realization. Running around here talking about I'm God is not good enough. It's an insult to who and what you are. If you're not fully realized, that's ain't nothing but a bunch of ego fluff. Mm-hmm. So what? Somebody say I'm God. I don't care. You're scared of Christian. You don't scare them. Okay, get in line with the rest of them. With all the other gods out there. Yes, we're all different aspects of God. All containers and vehicles of God's energy. But you have to understand that you have to awaken different levels of your being, and it is a process. The more you meditate, the more you pray, you're raising an energy. But you're also raising your energy when you do service. Devotional service does not necessarily mean that you have to go to a temple and give offerings to entities there. You can give an offering to the deity within a person that is struggling, that is homeless. Okay, I'm going to make the offering to the spirit within you. I'm going to get you something to eat. Mm-hmm. Can't you just give me $5? No. I'm going to walk you to the store so you can get some food. Because I want to see you eat. I'm going to help you out, brother. I didn't say I was going to just give you anything. I mean, you know, some people, they're like, okay, well, go ahead and take 20. I don't care what you do with the money. Depends. But my thing is, hey, I want to make sure that you're all right. I'm giving you this because I want to see another person at least eat. And if I could get that brother or that sister and show them how to grow their own food. What they say, feed a man, he eats for one day. Teach him how to fish, and you fed him for the rest of his life. So we have to understand that perspective and how to become self-sufficient, to awaken the God within ourselves. Remember, we're constantly becoming, transforming, coming into being. But first, we have to also recognize that we are greater than ourselves. What does that mean? We are greater than we've been led to believe, but not as big, as bad as we think we are. What am I talking about? Oh, that sounds like such a contradiction.
Sounds like balance.
Ashay. See, the ego has the tendency to get you to identify with it. It can be a positive ego, or it can be a negative ego. It could serve us, but don't become a servant of it. Okay? We're the greatest of the great and the smallest of the small. This is an ancient wisdom teachings. How's that? We're the living image of the divine. But we are fractals. A fractal. Fractals are self-similar parts that make up a bigger whole. So basically, let's say we're all cells in the body of a giant human that would be the God of this existence. And our cells are made up of similar things, humans or beings, living entities. This is how fractals work. We're all parts and parcels of one divine universal being. Smaller versions of the whole, made of self-similar parts. And that's why they mean, or that's what they mean when they say the universe is holographic. Because every part contains the whole. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you do something for someone, you're doing it also for you. That's why even in the Christian Bible, which comes from ancient wisdom teachings, it says, whatever you do to the least, for the least of thy brethren, likewise, sister, too, you're also doing to me. Every time you run across somebody that's netter, that has taken a physical form. When you look in the Pernimel Ger, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or that is the book of coming forth by day from night, there's a part where it says, Nukbat Tur, which means my soul is divine. My soul is netter. Each and every one of us are aspects of netter. So when somebody comes and hangs out with you, that is God visiting you. Each and every one of us are parts and pieces of God. That's why we have to also make sure that when we are with ourselves, we speak to ourselves with the utmost respect. Because everything we say out loud, the Spirit takes personally. Even when you're gossiping about somebody else, the Spirit takes it personally. So you might as well be talking about yourself, damn it. That's why you gotta be careful. There's a such thing as self-hexing. People that gossip all the time, self-hexing. Hey, I know I love to talk. I'll be clowning people too. I'll be roasting folks. Then I gotta go and I gotta clean myself off. But you don't want to get caught up in all that. See, I can do that, I'd be clowning. But now you don't want to get caught up in all that. So on a for real note, there's an old saying. If they'll bring you a bone, they'll take a bone. So be careful. Some people, they will talk good about somebody else to you. You talking about them with them, then that same person goes off and talk about you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all reflections. The people that surround us in our environment, they reflect where we're at. Levels of our being. There's reasons why you and your boss got into it. There's reasons why you and your significant other are not getting along. There's always a reason why. And both of you might not even be the issue. It could just simply be situations that both of you guys never healed from because of traumas that you had in your childhood. So what's happening when a man and woman are arguing, you know what's happening? The little girl that was hurt is arguing with the little boy that was hurt. That's what's happening. A lot of times, the hurt little girl that was never healed, was never dealt with, is exiled in the woman who is now 40. Same with the man. Traumas that they have experienced, but were never dealt with. So it's in our subconscious. And the subconscious comes and creeps up on us. It slows us down. Stories that we are playing in the back of our minds. Over and over again. Functioning and working like a computer virus. With a bunch of programs on top of each other. To the point that eventually it crashes the program. So you gotta reprogram yourself. You gotta dig into the core of who you are. And sometimes you gotta tell yourself another story. To change the program. You see, listen to the tango. I've listened to people in psychology say, oh yeah, you know, you done dated the same spirit for the past 7 times. You just keep running across the same spirit. Why? Is it possible that that person is still acting and doing the same thing every time they meet this so-called same spirit in a different body? What do they have? How are they engaging? Why do they keep meeting the same spirit in a different body, in different relationships? Is it possible that they are also continuing with the same narrative? You see, we tend to project upon each other all the time. A lot of times the evil that we see in another person, most of the time, actually all the time, the evil that we see in another person is a reflection of the evil we see in ourselves. Okay? A lot of times we will project it onto our partners, the people that are close to us. You all right?
Yeah.
Any questions?
So back, does the crossing over, carrying over, could he also represent like a spirit for transformance once that other part gets eaten or taken away because the person comes does the work? Yeah,
He assists.
crocodile.
He assists in the transformation, but he allows you to go so far.
Eating the part of someone that doesn't serve them for their higher purpose.
Well, there's that aspect, yeah. You see, because if you cannot get beyond a certain stage, it's because there's something that you need to go back and look at. A lot of times, the guardians of the threshold are parts of our being that will not let us pass until we have reached a certain level of realization, learned certain lessons. Maybe you don't want to lie to your partner when you're getting a relationship next time, because you probably started off with a lie. And then that lie came to the surface later on in the relationship. Just an example.
And how many netters are there versus well, not versus, but how many netters are there? Like how there's orishas?
Yeah, there's countless netters and there's countless orishas.
Okay.
But just like in the Ifa tradition, they recognize, they say sometimes they speak on 1440 or mainly 400 plus 1, right? And 200 plus 1. They talk about 400 plus 1 of the agreeable beings. They're called the Rumo letters. And you got 200 plus 1 beings who are said to be malevolent, negative, or disagreeable. 200 plus 1.
Netters?
We're talking about orishas.
Oh,
But
orishas.
netter, there's countless of netters. But according to Abdul Hakim school of thought, they talk about 360 netters within an individual, in which the average person has only awakened maybe two.
Well, can you say that one more time?
That there are 360 netaru within every individual, which the average person may have only awakened two. Two functioning, or maybe five at the most. Why 360? Because it connects to the 36 deacons of the zodiac.
Is there any way to know how many netter are activated within oneself?
Well, that's where the divination comes in. You know, where they can look into it. But I don't have that school. But that's what Abdul Hakim speaks on. In fact, he passed away, but his successors have created a mystery school, to my understanding. Abdul Hakim was the wisdom keeper of ancient Egyptian knowledge, and he was the mentor of the one named Stephen Myler. He wrote a book called The Land of Osiris. Okay. He spoke about the 360 Neteru, but as above, so below. The ancestors separated the sky into 36 deacons. A deacon is a measurement of 10. So 10 times 36 is 360. So you might could say that what I thought I started in the 90s about 360 consciousness, it was already a thing. I just kept hearing 360, so I put together what is called 360. In fact, it was called the 360 Nation at one point in time. But it was always about zeroing on a topic from 360 different angles. Later on, I found out it was about awakening these 360 degrees of consciousness within you that are the Netaru, because you have the forces of nature within you, you see. Everything that's happening on earth is happening in your body. You have explosions, you have volcanic eruptions, you have tidal waves. You ever listen to your stuff?
Flood.
Yeah, floods. You have droughts and all that. Earthquakes, all that. All that stuff is taking place inside of your body. As above, so below. As within, so without. On earth as it is in heaven. I mean, you've been calling upon that for all your life since your mom or whoever taught you how to pray. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Why? Because everything that's taken place in the physical plane started from a higher plane. It just comes down and trickles down until it solidifies and crystallizes. And slows down. Because everything around you that appears to be solid is light slowed down and crystallized. We are light beings. But we're in physical forms, in vehicles that move much slower. Thought. You look out in space, most of those stars have burnt out millions of years ago. Their light's just now reaching us.
Yeah. Was it burnt out star?
A lot of those stars don't exist anymore. So you understand?
Understand.
Yeah. As deep calculation.
So you're going to be a star that shines for millions of years too. Let your light continue to shine after you have departed from this physical plane. Be a star. Be a superstar. Be supernatural. There's natural, be supernatural. Tap into your supernature by tapping into the supreme being that is within us and within all things in which we move and have our being. Yet they say the power within you is greater than the power in the world. Remember, you're held together with 14,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. And the atoms that hold you together are so powerful. An atom from your body can power a city for 6 months and be split and destroy a city within seconds. Yes, we're very powerful. But, so we don't misuse this power and blow up the planet, we have been given limited access to our own power. We have to awaken and earn that. We have it. We just gotta activate it. But we have to reach a certain level, because there's also a built-in defense mechanism that nature has put in to her creation, so that you don't blow up the planet. Because you wouldn't let your baby play with a gun.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Earn your power by studying and meditating and awakening your higher self.
For sure, for sure. See, and also living a life of virtue and finding out what you're here to do and being in alignment with that. What are you here to do? Why am I here? What are you here for?
Know your purpose.
Know your purpose. Even the church put out a book years ago called The Purpose-Driven Life. Let your purpose be your drive. Live a life of you making discoveries. And Hermetic Atum says to the elementals, I will create a being who will appreciate my creation. The element said, you're going to create a being that's going to cause mischief. Where have you heard this before? It's in the Quran, but it's also a different version of it in the Hermetica. Atum went along and created humans anyway. Why? Because humanity would be the vehicle in which the divine would experience and know itself. You reach self-realization in the human body. You can do art, play music, fiddle, climb a ladder. You got fully posable thumbs. This is engineering at its best. In Semitic teachings, it said even the devil got pissed off. He's like, I'm an angel. How you gonna tell me to bow down to that? This is according to the other Bible that the Romans did not allow into the canon, right? More than Gnostic scriptures.
Timothy or something.
I can't remember the exact one, but it's in but look in it's a place called it's a book called the Other Bible.
Called the other Bible.
Mm-hmm. It's got a bunch of Gnostic texts in it. There's a being called Satan-El. And Satan-El says, I refuse to bow down to this image. They said, but this is the image of God, showing the image of Adam. By the way, Adam was both male and female before they split. Keep that in mind. So, Satan-El refuses to bow down. He says, but you made me of the Shekinah. You made that out of clay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You said Adam at one point was a male and female. Would that mean that it was a representation of the conscious and subconscious?
I don't know.
Highly possible.
Adam.
Highly possible. And the balance of the
of both
Of both.
working together.
Yes.
And then the story after that of the division into two, which is still one, it's just separate, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna come back, brother, now that you've been having something you want to say.
Oh, it's just what's the difference between Satan and Satan L? And you guys talking about Adam, Atom?
Adam and Atum is
Same
same
thing.
difference.
Same thing. All right.
Satan L, basically Satan L, basically letting you know that Satan is a god. L.
L.
So, what is a hermaphrodite? I'm not talking about just a person born with both genders. There's another aspect of a hermaphrodite. It is Hermes Aphrodite. Hermes represents the left brain hemisphere, and Aphrodite represents the right brain hemisphere. Aphrodite represents the aphrodisiac and the sacred feminine and intuitive and the beautiful. While Hermes, which means to seal, is dealing with the left brain. So, the sister touches upon something very important. And that is the maintenance and creation of balance. Ma'at. Balance of the scales. We balance the both brain hemispheres and unify the higher and lower self. And what do you have?